Watching in front of Checkpoint Charlie. Most of you Americans are familiar with Checkpoint Charlie, but Berlin has far more to offer to us than just Checkpoint Charlie. Hi, and welcome to At Home Abroad. I'm here in Berlin, Germany, in the Wedding section, which is an old Turkish neighborhood. The Turks arrived in Germany about 30 years ago to work in many of the manufacturing jobs, and they've been a great influence on the cuisine in this neighborhood. I went to the market today and I picked up some great fruits and some great vegetables: tomatoes, peppers, scallions, onion, lemon, garlic, and potatoes. I also went to one of the local fish markets and got some great flounder, which I'll be preparing today in the meal that I would normally make at home in the U.S. The flounder, you'll see it later, will be pan-seared spicy flounder with topped off with pear mustard sauce. And the potato and pepper will be roasted potato and pepper, seasoned with cayenne pepper and dona baharatı, which is a spice that I found here in one of the local Turkish markets. So let's get started. First we'll make the potatoes and roasted peppers. So I'm going to cut up the potatoes. Very easy. I like to cut up my potatoes as small as possible, as they tend to be easier and quicker to cook, taking less time in the oven. Because you don't want them too hard if you make them too small. But you also, if you make them too big, you also don't get, the cooking time takes longer. Okay. I use a cooking sheet on a pan, which I have prepared here. So I'll just add the potatoes into that. Just a few here to hold the cooking sheet down, because you know how cooking sheets can fly away and roll up on you, right? I'm going to add a red pepper to it. And you can always add the seeds from the pepper in there, and so to give it more flavor and a bit more spiciness to it. Okay, see that? Again, from this side. Now I'm going to chop it up. I don't chop up the pepper as much as I chop up the tomatoes. More like slicing each side and then halving the slices. In the interim, I'm going to turn the oven up to 250 degrees Celsius. Remember, I'm in Berlin, so Celsius is they use the metric system here, so Celsius is the term as far as the heat. If I were in the US, I would have it at about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? Another key ingredient to this roasted pepper and potatoes is adding in scallions. Now scallions are very interesting because all along a scallion you get different flavors. The very darkest part are more of like a sweet flavor. The middle green is more of like a mild flavor. And then down towards the end you're going to get a more tangy, zesty, oniony flavor. For this meal I add in all portions of the scallion as it adds color and gives it the extra kick with the different flavors. And I just mix it in all around. Now see how we have a look already to the roasted potato? Now, what I like to add to it, this is an indispensable spice that I found here in Wedding, which, as I told you, is a Turkish neighborhood here in Berlin. The Turkish community began to grow in Berlin around 30 years ago. And this spice is just a combination of all. It's a little packet. It was about €1, which is about $1.50. It includes majoran, paprika, and a few other spices included together. I found it to be indispensable since I've been here in Berlin. Now, one other element I tend to add in very after the seasoning is the garlic. Roasted garlic, and placed in the oven, comes out as a very sweet, tangy taste. It adds flavor to anything, and sometimes it's a surprise because after it's roasted, it often looks like a roasted potato because they have the same color, and it just adds so much. I leave the whole clove in, maybe cut off the edges, and just place it strategically throughout the plate, throughout the baking sheet, and it still gives the same flavor to the whole pan, but it allows the diners to enjoy a sweet surprise throughout the meal. And for the final touch, add an olive oil. This is a brand that I'm not familiar with, but I found it to be just as good as any other brand that I've gotten in the US. And olive oil is one of my favorites. So you just sprinkle it over just so lightly. And then you can add it into the oven for baking. This is gonna take about 30 minutes. I'll check on it throughout, but it's good. It should be good for about the next 30 minutes.